And the bad news is, breaking bad news, double header. HS TikkyTokky, aka Harrison Sullivan, has been remanded. Again, he's still in jail. And big Brett the Machine May, Brett the Blind, the Microwave May is still in jail and remand in Hull. We don't know where Harrison Sullivan is at the moment, but credit to Paul Venice, he's exposed Brett May's blackmail charges. So we're going to start with Harrison Sullivan, HS TikkyTokky, and we're going to talk about his court date today. Yesterday. He was in court yesterday. He was remanded, coming back to England. He knew he was. It was in relation to crashing the McLaren with General G in the car. They've added a charge on, because at first it was leaving the scene of an accident. It was using a mobile phone whilst driving, and it was... What was the other one? Driving with no third-party insurance. Imagine driving a 200... I've read online it was a £230,000 car. I thought it was £300,000 yesterday when I made the video. Imagine driving a £230,000 car and not having insurance. Give your head a wobble, mate. What is going on in your head? How can you afford to rent a car that expensive, which is going to be a lot of fucking money, and can't afford to get a 24-hour insurance or a week insurance on it? It's fucking madness. Anyway, it's turned out that General G, HS TikkyTokky's mate turned enemy, and I can understand why he's turned enemy, as he was just a passenger, had no serious injuries. Really, he said he broke his ribs, but the bloke's absolutely full of shit. And he's just got on podcasts, 2 podcasts, and just absolutely grassed HS up. And then he's come out on his own channel saying he thinks HS deserves to get jailed 5 years, he said. You don't know whether he's trolling or not, but at the same time, it's like, General G could have literally just said, oh, I can't remember who was driving. HS wasn't registered to the car. I don't think there was any evidence that it was actually HS that was driving. There wasn't even any witness of it, and he would have got away with it. General G is a straight up grass, and like, I know he's a little bit simple and he's a bit of a retard and not really the type of person that you would want to be involved with an incident where you could potentially be getting banged up with him. But at the same time, it's just like, mate, have a bit of morals about it. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here, mate? Anyway, so HS has been remanded again, because he got remanded in the first place on entry back to the country, until the 24th of October, where he's going to return back to Guildford Magistrates Court. And I know we've had like Ed Matthews coming out saying he's going to run the jail and this and that, but I don't think he will have that much of a hard time in jail, because he's a big guy, and it's very, very easy to see that he can handle himself. He can scrap. He's trained in boxing a little bit. He's a black belt in karate. He can look after himself, and he's a big lump, and he's game. He's not scared to fight anyone. So I can't imagine like just getting sent to prison. People are going to want to badly hurt him straight away just for his personality. People probably like him for his personality in prison, because he probably appeals to them sort of people, because he is funny. Do you know what I mean? Like the sort of age of men that you're most likely to get the prison population to be he's going to be sort of like, they're going to find him funny. He's going to appeal to them sort of people. So that's one thing. And secondly, yeah, he can really handle himself. So any sort of scrap, any sort of one-on-one, he's probably going to be able to. If he doesn't win, I'm not saying he's going to win them all, but he's not going to come out really, really bad, and he's not scared to defend himself. So there's that. There's HS, and we'll find more about that on the 24th of October, and we'll see if General G is going to actually stand up in court against him. If he does, he is literally scum. But he's saying, like, in one of the podcasts, that General G's saying, oh, the general public are going to hate HS. They're going to want to kill him because of what he did to me. It's just like, mate, you were driving around in a supercar. Sounds like you was racing another car which slammed on its brakes in front of you, if what your account of things is correct. And HS was, obviously he shouldn't have been driving that fast. Obviously he was driving with no insurance. Obviously he was racing someone. But as General G said in his own words, if the other car hadn't swerved and broke in front of him, then it would have never happened. So it's like, why are you saying that? Well, firstly, why would people be angry with him because you was involved in a car crash, General G? Not that he's going to see this, but you're an absolute wally that you're just a lolcow. Like the more simple version of Danny G. And why would anyone care about a car crash? It's hardly like a SA or something, is it? Anyway, Brett the Machine May, Double header, massive celebrity expose. Brett the Blind. Brett May's blackmail charges. Now, we were all a bit wondering, scratching our heads, what's going on with the old blackmail charges with Brett May. No, he's not Black May, he's Punjabi May. Indian May. So, I thought maybe because there was the rumours about his mum and sister smashing the nightclub up, and he might have threatened the owner, or he smashed the nightclub up, his mum and sister got in a fight, and he might have threatened the owner or something like that. And that was the blackmail. But it turns out the blackmail was, so he has been threatening a young lad or a lad from his own area with menace, saying he's going to come to his house, he's going to attack his dad, he's going to attack his mum, he's going to smash his house up, he's going to do this, going to do that if he doesn't give him money. And it's not a large sum of money that he's asked for, it's £1,000. And I know in the financial climate, obviously, there is quite a lot of money, and there's a lot of people out there that will struggle to scrape £1,000 together, and I understand totally. But at the same time, it's not a lot of money for what he is trying to demand and the reasons that he's trying to demand it with nefarious, as Danny G likes to say, nefarious intentions. Why is he doing that? Well, he did go on Terry Stone's podcast, as we saw, and he talks about all these times where he was threatening drug dealers and taxing drug dealers and taking money off them with menace and saying he wants 50 grand, 20 grand, yada, yada, yada. What I think, because we know Brett May likes to exaggerate 50 times the truth of what happened and be there. He pushes someone outside a nightclub, and then he'll come on his video going, I just knocked out 10 blokes. And that's what he does. So, like the Rob Cunningham fight, it was a very, very even fight until he quit. And his version of events is, I was absolutely battering him. I was up on all the judges' scorecards. I was destroying him, and I would have continued to do it, but my ADHD medication kicked in and I lost my sight. And that is the levels of Brett May's delusion. So, is these massive, big-time heavies that he was with menace, demanding 50,000s off and getting it, is this the fella that he's demanded £1,000 off and not got it and got crossed up to the police for? Maybe so. What I will say is, on the other hand, normal law-abiding citizens don't get taxed. Normal, everyday office workers, say the worker in Sainsbury's, a young man working on a building site, yada, yada, yada. They've not got Brett May at their door demanding £1,000 off them. So it does beg the question, why was this happening? And then it gets to the point of, say, play silly games, win silly prizes. As we've gone over this loads of times on this channel. So we've got the young lad who, I might be wrong, this is alleged, I don't know, but was he playing silly games? Has he won a silly prize with Brett May at his door? A very silly prize, very, very silly prize. For videoing himself, the stupidest criminal ever, videoing himself, shouting abuse and threatening and saying he's going to seriously harm people and stuff and potentially kill them. And we've got Brett May playing a silly game, demanding money off people and winning a silly prize, getting remanded. So, let me know what you think down below, boys and girls, because we've seen the evidence. It's very, very, very clear that Brett May's bang to rights guilty, so there's going to be no not guilty plea involved in this. What's going to happen? How long do you reckon he's going to get? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Adios, la bosh.